Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared with my lovely wife, Kara.
Hi.
And we are live, ladies and gentlemen, live on a Bang Gang members live sharpening. Today, we're talking about ceramic stones, rods, and all that good stuff. But we're going to give it a minute and let people come in. So if you're watching this later, you can probably just fast forward from here until we begin.
What's this called again?
That is the Mini Barlow, the Urban EDC Supply Mini Barlow.
So that's what I'm carrying today.
I can zoom.
This is a really good teeny
I have the
knife.
video of it coming up probably tomorrow.
Yeah, no, it's a good.
She's showing
knife.
you guys early.
Well, that's what I carried. It's a good knife. I can tuck it in my shirt. If I don't have pockets, I can put it on the waistband of yoga pants and it'll stay with no issues, which I really like. And
it is a tiny little guy.
Yeah,
it's a very capable.
Definitely
tiny
watch
knife.
the review on this guy. I probably should have.
It's not really a review. It's a first
whatever it
impressions,
is,
but, yeah.
I should have probably did it.
Yeah,
for being real.
So.
What are you
where's
carrying?
the thing? Oh, I'm carrying I actually got a bunch of stuff on me right now. Right now I got the Kizer Domin, the new version. Kara should link this right now. This thing is amazing.
Where's the
12 thousandths behind the edge. It's a hollow ground sheepsfoot blade, 154 cm. This sheepsfoot blade is so useful. It's complete guillotine action. The thumb stud detent is amazing. Right there. You just passed that.
This?
Yep.
Oh.
So it is going to be in the description. The jimping rides all the way up the spine, like halfway up. So you have tons of traction. The deep carry clip's reversible and adjustable. Then I have, check this out. I think there might be one or two left. I'm not positive, but I have the Jack Wolf Knives Midnight with this one has the clip on it. This is the pocket slip that you can get on OCD for EDC, but this clip works really good where you don't have to pull it out of your pocket to take the knife out. So it clips in your pocket and you can easily grab this and pull this out without the clip or the slip coming out of your pocket.
What was the knife? The Kizer what? Domin what?
What?
Was the Kizer Domin what? What was
the Kizer Domin?
But wasn't it like sheepsfoot?
Yeah, sheepsfoot.
Okay.
Hollow ground sheepsfoot. Then the other thing I got in my EDC organizer, I'm not going to show you guys because I have the video coming up right after this, and you guys should watch it because they just dropped, and I have a link for them, and you're probably going to want to get them quick. It's a budget version of a knife that came out not that long ago. You guys will see that soon. Where is? Let me see how many people are in here.
18.
Why is this? Mine didn't start. Oh, there it goes. Let me turn this down.
27.
All right, 27. All right, so what we're going to talk about today is we are going to talk about...
Wait.
Yes.
Really quickly, before we start, I just want to, because this is a members live, I just want to say thank you to those of you that are members. It means a lot. It's something that you don't have to do. And we always tell people that viewing is just as much of, support, but for those of you that have taken the extra step, whether it just be for the content that you get for it or just to support, it means a whole lot to us.
We do
more
appreciate
than you know.
It a lot. And I want to know how many of you have a ceramic rod that are part of the members. I'd like to know who has a ceramic rod and who does not have a ceramic rod. But today we are going to talk about ceramic stones. So we are going to talk about how to use them properly, different ways to use them, and stones to use them with.
Oh, thank you.
So we have the medium, SPYDERCO medium ceramic. Then we have the ultra fine. So I personally don't think anybody needs to get the fine.
Mike has one, if you didn't know.
I know he has one.
Well, he
definitely has one. But that's good. I'm glad. And shout out to Mike Emler. He became a member of the Bang Gang squad.
Yeah.
So now he's part of the crew. And shout out to all the other Bang Gang members. So the SPYDERCO ceramics. I personally don't think anybody, not saying, if you got it, it's a bad thing, but I don't think you need to get the fine. If you get the medium and the ultra fine, the ultra fine and the fine, you know, obviously the ultra fine's a little bit finer than the fine, but if you just have those two, you're pretty much good. I don't think, you know, the fine, they're so fine already that the difference between the fine and the ultra fine isn't that big of a gap. What?
Zeroster said used to have the Spidey triangle sharp maker. Remember
Nice.
that?
Yeah,
I forgot about the triangle.
A lot of people
sharp
got those. I think that's probably the most popular sharpener.
Do you remember we found like a tri maker? It wasn't actually Spyderco, but it was like that same concept. But we found it in Menards. I don't know if you remember. You bought it on the fly. This was
that's a tri-stone though. What they're talking about, it's the system with the tri. It has these rods. I think that's what he's talking about.
No, yeah, the Spyderco one. That's right. Yeah. I was thinking of that other thing.
But yeah, tri-stones are really good too, and you can get a tri-stone where it's one system and the stone flips, and it's got a diamond plate. They usually have an aluminum oxide, a diamond plate, and then a ceramic. They work really good. Yeah, but the thing is though, is that, and then this is one thing we're going to get into right now. Might as well.
Yeah, the rod one, Jared, for the Spyderco.
Yeah, the rod
also, one. Also, Kim Otterbach said he has one, but they seem to get gummed up easily.
Yeah, well, what you can use is you want to get Barkeeper's Friend. If you get Barkeeper's Friend for your ceramic stones, that works the best. It's not abrasive enough to where it'll scratch your stone, but it's abrasive enough that it'll clean all the steel off. So soap and water works really good, but when it does build up so much, Barkeeper's Friend just cleans it right off really fast, really easy. Kim, I'm going to be contacting you here really soon. I think I'm pretty much ready to ship back to you. I'm going to try to ship out tomorrow, but I might not be able to ship your stuff back until the following day or Wednesday. So ceramic. The
roaster said a pink eraser would clean them.
Erasers work well, but there it gets to a point to where they build up and it's so stuck into the fibers or whatever you want to call it, the pores of the ceramic, that you want some sort of an abrasive. And like I said, Barkeeper's Friend, it's kind of like baking soda. It works phenomenally.
Wait, what? Oh, you're talking about the powder version.
Yeah.
There's liquid Barkeeper's Friend.
I'm talking about the powder version, yeah.
Bartenders and baristas use the liquid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the powders are really good for cleaning lots of different things. I mean, it's very versatile for a lot of different things. So, one thing we're going to talk about, because steels with ceramics. So, I haven't talked about this in a while, and you guys know when I talk about high carbide steels that you must use diamond. So, a lot of you are like, so how can you use ceramic on the high carbide steels? Well, you can. The ceramics work well with high carbide steels. Now, the thing is, though, is you don't sharpen with the ceramic. You're going to hone with it. You're going to use it as a finishing stone. So after you've already cut through the carbides and the steel and you have your edge bevel with your diamond stones, which will cut through the carbides, then you can finish with a ceramic. So you're basically just taking the finish, so when you're going through your diamond, you would use a coarse, a medium, even sometimes a fine, then move to a Spyderco medium or a Spyderco ultra fine. Now you can move to a Spyderco medium. Depends on the steel. Some steel obviously works better than others, but if it's a high carbide steel or something, you might want to go over like 800 grit before you go to the Spyderco medium, but I've had really good results over 600 grit, but it does depend. Sorry, guys.
Mike says, gotta go, bud. Keep your fingers out of your butt.
I'll try. I'll do my best. Can't promise. All right, so we're going to lower down the camera now, and let's get to sharpening. But what are we going to sharpen? So I thought about two different knives. Either the Benchmade Griptilian, the large one, S30V, or I was going to do the new Miguron, what the hell is it called? The Miguron Gladiator. which is M390. We'll do the Gladiator just because, you know, it needs an edge. Both of these need an edge. I have a couple other knives I was going to do, but let's lower down the camera. Now, one thing I think, some steels, now I know some people have really good results with steels that don't do good with polish, with a ceramic polish. Now, I think that does have the potential to bring out maybe a higher level of sharpness. However, it's still, certain steels, they will lose their bite very quickly once you start using them. So when you're going to a polish, like from a ceramic stone, which I think everybody should have a ceramic plate, because the ceramic plates, you can get a mirror polish with a ceramic plate. And I'm talking about high levels of sharpness. There are some downfalls. Yes, babe.
That's not a blue stone. That's just a case, right?
It's a white stone, or this one's a brown stone.
I know that sounds stupid to say, but like theoretically, if somebody brand new is watching,
when you click the link, you can see.
They might not know though. Just saying.
Well, we're gonna pull them out.
I know.
You're gonna see them once we lower down. Anyways, what was I? Where the fuck was I?
I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah. We'll just lower down the camera and let's get started. So we're gonna start with a coarse stone. I need to be able to see this. Bam. So we're going to start with an extra coarse stone. Then we're going to move to a medium grit stone. And then we will switch to the ceramic, or we might even go to a high. Let me fix this. I'm trying to get it set up. 1 second, guys. Let me raise this up a little bit. I can't tell which way it needs to go. Maybe it needs to go this way. Yeah, it needs to go a little bit lower. Hopefully I'll be able to I might have to move the camera a little bit closer. Sorry, as I have to watch you guys at the same time. Oh, maybe I didn't need to do that. No, I just messed it up. What a genius. Oh, that's good. All right, so we have M390 steel. Now, with the ceramics, when we get to it, which we will be here momentarily, one of the problems is you want to practice with a ceramic. They don't have a lot of response. So when you're sharpening, you get, like on a diamond plate, you get a lot of response. You can feel the diamonds biting into the edge. With a ceramic, you don't. It skates. So you have to use a lot of sound. And you got to really, really feel for the feedback. Now, when you have a flat bevel from sharpening, when you're holding your angle you're really holding your angle and your bevel is nice and flat, you can feel it because it suction cups to the plate. But that can be, like you're trying to catch it and find it. Like there's very little feedback aside from the suction. And that is only when it's perfectly flat. And, so that's the problem with them, is that it is very easy to convex your edge on ceramics. Now, if you're looking for a convex, then that might not be that big of a deal, but let's get started. So this is an M390 blade. It has a factory edge on it. I was going to use a knife that I already had an edge on. Even though it needs to be sharpened, it's already at a low angle. I don't like taking factory edges during these and then putting a low angle on them. And the reason why is because then it takes me so much longer to sharpen on a live. And right now we're trying to get to the ceramic. Now, the beauty of the ceramic is how fine it can get your edge. It can basically get your edge to almost be like a wire. And if you go and watch, I don't know if any of you watch Michael Christie's videos. He doesn't post that much anymore, but he's got a full catalog of all kinds of sharpening videos. I mean, that guy he's awesome. And he used to use ceramic plates on a lot of different steels and get some of the sharpest edges you can imagine. I mean, just like the most hair whittling edges from some of the most insane steels. Luckily, this steel is sharpening up pretty quickly. Now, I'll be honest, this M390 does not feel the hardest. So far, it doesn't feel bad, but it's definitely not a high HRC. I would guess it's 60 HRC, which, to be honest, is pretty typical. Pretty damn typical. We like to see it around 63, 62 to 63. Now, hopefully, we'll be able to get a screaming edge still, because when the steel is a little bit softer, the ceramic, you get a lot better quality edges off the ceramic when your edge or when the steel is very, very hard, at least from my experience. So I don't have a burr yet, but my bevel looks really good. But right here, the thickness of the steel changes right here. You can actually see it. If I zoom in right here, you can see how the bevel gets a little smaller right there. So I got to work that area a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put any pressure, but I'm going to do some back and forth motions right there to just try to specifically hit that area, and then I'll blend it in. Hardly no pressure at all, if any. I'm just basically using my fingers as a balancing thing, just to kind of feel my angle. Now, something I've noticed in a lot of videos, man, do not listen to anything from any of the comment section of people that are not members, or you do not recognize their name or anything like that. I can't tell you, man, some of the shorts I post, and I will get ridiculous comments of people that probably...
Tell them the one about my hair.
Oh, yeah. So I did this short where I'm hair whittling, it was the last Bang Gang live, right? The last Bang Gang live, we sharpened the conspirator, right? You guys remember? We sharpened up the conspirator. Well, after that, remember, I was telling you guys, man, this thing is stupid sharp. Well, after the Bang Gang live, I did a short on how sharp the edge was. And I grabbed a hair from Kara's brush, and I whittled it. Well, I got multiple comments of people accusing me of heating up the edge and melting the hair.
I mean, I guess that's a compliment.
That is a compliment. So that's not even the type of comments I'm talking about.
That's what you could call that edge, the hair melter.
Yeah, the hair melting edge. But then they'll actually say that, well it's because you heated it.
It'll disband their comments. If we just start calling it a hair melting edge, then their comments...
That's funny. That's a good idea.
It ruins them, because it's like,
so sharp and melts hair.
Yeah, it is a hair melting edge. You're right.
So, but the kind of comments I'm talking about is where people will come in and then tell you how you're doing something, or how you're doing something wrong, or how you were wrong about something. And it's
not that surprising for them.
Right. It's like, where's all your videos? Where's your edges? This could be just a 12-year-old on the couch who's never sharpened a knife in his life.
That's why I always give...
Or listen to something from his grandpa who might be able to sharpen knives a little bit, but is maybe doing something old school, or really doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's why I just usually tell people like that, well, you could just make a video yourself and do it better.
Yes, right. Because the last one, a guy, I did 5 things you're doing wrong when sharpening, or why you can't get your knife sharp. 5 reasons you can't get your knife sharp. And one of the parts was you have to form a burr, right? You have to form a burr. Well, then a commenter came in and said, technically, you don't have to form a burr. And it's like, that's a ridiculous statement. Like when you are at a very, very, very high level of sharpening, yes, you try to make your burr. One secret is like to get like an extremely sharp edge is to make the smallest burr possible, right? It's so small, yes, you can barely feel it. But in order for the steel for you to hit from the top of the edge bevel all the way to the apex, you got to get, in order to get to the apex, you're going to have some sort of burr. And even if, like, let's say, even if technically you're not going to form a burr because you're just going to hit the apex without forming a burr and then flip because you're that good, that's still not something you recommend to people that can't even get their knife sharp in the first place.
Right.
You know, like, so that, you know, it's like, if
sometimes people don't pay attention to the context
no,
of
they
things.
don't.
Like if you're speaking to a beginner and maybe giving them a technique that you wouldn't give to an expert, it's two different things.
Right. You're trying to get them to get their knives sharp. And in that case, you want them to form a burr because you want them to be able to identify when they're hitting the apex. Because that's the point of forming the burr, is that once, you know, when you're getting a burr, then you know for sure you've hit the apex, you know, and you want a burr from heel to tip. This is taking a little longer than I thought.
Wouldn't the burr theoretically also help you know that you're hitting your edge evenly on the stone if you feel the burr from heel to tip? Like if you didn't feel the burr at the tip, you might be doing your tip wrong or something?
No, because there's different thicknesses. So some parts are going to form a burr before others because the thickness of the edge is different.
So how do you tell then if you did it right?
Well, you just make sure you have a burr. What do you mean? I don't understand.
I'm saying, like, if you weren't lifting, like, maybe, like, if you were sharpening, you're going back and forth like you are now, but you weren't lifting up on the tip, lifting your elbow up on the tip, wouldn't a burr not form? If you weren't lifting your elbow up on the tip?
If you don't get all the way to the tip.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so then wouldn't that be an indicator if you're doing it wrong?
Yeah, but in that case, it was step 4, or wait, no, that was step 3, which was follow your grip pattern. You have to follow the grip pattern because the grip pattern will actually indicate when you're going to get a burr.
Right.
All right. I haven't hit the apex down here because it's a different thickness, so it's going to take me a little bit longer. I'm going to flip to the other side, work on this side, then go back because we technically still have a lot more work to do on that side.
Why do you do that part?
I'm kind of getting an angle, like I'm feeling the angle, and I'm also getting
doesn't mess up your lines.
No, I'm getting the heel too, so I'm kind of finding a good angle exactly where I want, kind of feeling the bite from the diamonds into the steel to feel that I'm going to be able to
going like backwards doesn't hurt it?
No, technically, if you can only hold an angle going forwards, then that's the way you should sharpen. It does not matter going. That was another argument somebody had, that that one direction's better than another, and it's like, that's technically not true. It doesn't really matter which direction you sharpen as long as you're able to do 2 things. Hold your angle. Well, 3 things. Hold your angle, get a solid grip pattern, and form a burr. If you can do those things, then you're going to get a sharp edge. Now, the problem is a lot of people cannot work backwards. They can't, they can hold an angle going forward, but when they go backwards, they wind up convexing, or the other way around. So in a lot of cases, it's better for people to just go one direction. Now, I'm actually thinking about, because since this is going to take a little bit longer than I want, I'm actually thinking about doing a lower angle on this side and doing a dual angle sharpening.
What?
Yes.
Why? What does that
because I like doing it sometimes.
What does that mean?
What that means is I do a lower angle on this side and a high angle on this side.
No, I know it means that. I figured that from the name. I mean, what does it mean? I asked the wrong question. What I meant was, Why would you want that?
Well, I was going to get into it, baby.
I'm sorry, I just have so many questions. I'm very interested.
One, when you have when it's thicker behind the edge, it can definitely help your knife be sharper and pass through materials a little bit easier. It allows you to do, like, obviously, if you do a very low angle on both sides, it's also going to increase the sharpness. But it makes it to where you don't sacrifice as much toughness, kind of like a chisel grind.
Oh, I see. So it's giving a sturdier angle on one side almost. Yeah. For the one angle to kind of meet up to.
Now, I don't have to do that, but I'm contemplating it just because I don't want to spend as much time as it's probably going to take. Now, I did notice. I thought this thing was better than it is. Maybe it was my fault I hit it because of this coating, but I thought this plunge grind was a little better. I think it might have been my fault. So I'm going to, I'm just going to do that. So we're going to do a dual angle. So I'm going to do probably about 20 degrees on this side and 15 degrees on the other side. That way this side will go much, much faster. And see, I'm already about to form a burr. And then we can finish working on the other side. Now we will still, you know what? We don't have to. We could do a dual grit edge too. I've never done that, by the way. I've never done a dual angle, dual grit edge. I should try it. Maybe we should try it. Do a little bit of experience. See, but I don't. The thing is maybe that would make it worse. I don't know. I've never done it, so I don't know how the edge retention would be from that. Now, I've noticed that doing a dual angle, it seems, I haven't done a controlled test with it, but it seems like you do get a little bit better edge retention out of it. Now, Cedric and Ada has tested the theory on dual grit edges, and it massively increases your edge retention.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Is the process of doing this dual angle thing, is it like you are making a really big, like you're doing the different angles, but with the burr kind of always lean one way and then you kind of knock it off?
Oh, what do you mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what I mean. Can you just explain how?
You're going to get a burr either way on both sides. So you're still going to get a burr on both sides. Okay. Your angle's going to be like this. Let me just draw it for people. So if this was the tip of the knife, which would be the entire edge, right? Your thing's going to be like this. This is the way your edge is going to look. One side's going to be like 20 degrees and the other side's going to be like 15 degrees, which I know that's exaggerating right there. I
thought that you were drawing the knife sideways.
This is like the tip, because the tip is going to show the same thing as the rest of the edge. This would be one side of the knife's edge bevel. This would be the other side. So if you looked at it, just look at this. Just look at this. How about this?
Do you see how you drew the exact blade shape, though?
Yeah, I'm going to show you. Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So if you look at the edge right now, look at how low the angle is on this side, how big the edge bevel is. I'm trying to get it in the middle. Then look at how small it is on this side.
Oh, wow.
So that's the difference.
Wow. Now, I bet a lot of people wouldn't like the uneven look.
Yeah, so that's the problem, is a lot of people don't. But me, I appreciate the high level of don't start your shit. I appreciate the high level of sharpness I get, without it maybe being fragile. Now I have a burr all the way up and down, so I'm gonna just do a reverse pass so that I can remove the burr. There it goes. Wow, that did remove pretty easily. Maybe the steel is a little bit harder than I thought. Yeah, well, it folded, so maybe not. I'd say 60, maybe 60.5. All right, so let's finish this side now, and I'm just guessing, obviously. And then we're going to move to the ceramic. Oh, baby, can you grab me my soap and water mix?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to.
Okay, we do have a burr all the way up and down except for this one area that's really messing with me. And you guys can see I hit the choil, the plunge grind, all the way to the plunge grind because we're doing so low of an angle. This is probably way more than 15 degrees. This is probably more like 10 degrees. It's a very low angle.
Why? Why so low?
That's the point, because we're doing a dual angle.
Okay.
It looks nice and flat, though. It looks beautiful. The grip pattern looks really good. Let's show it really quick. The grip pattern looks really good. Is it focusing? Is it focused?
Yes, it's super focused.
See how flat that looks? It looks really, really good. So we have a nice flat bevel, barely any convexing, but we're still missing, not hitting back there, which is seeming to be an issue because it's just a different thickness right there. We'll be done with it very soon, though. By the way, this is an ATOMA 140 diamond plate. I did link the ultra sharp diamond plates, which I highly recommend. You can get the 3x8s. You can get 3 plates for $138 for the 8x3s, or the 2x6s for only $51. Those are my most recommended diamond plates. They're so affordable. Okay, we're starting to hit. Yep, we got a burn now. So, they are so affordable, and they're comparable to DMTs. All right, so now we have a burr all the way up and down. We're just going to knock the burr off very, very quickly, very gently. I'm barely letting the edge touch the stone. It's just basically snagging the burr off. Technically, I didn't even snag it. There we go.
Hey, Polo.
All right, now let's go to a different stone. This. All right, so because that one's so aggressive, we can't yet quite go to a, what is this, 1200? Where's my 300? I thought I brought 300. Oh, I guess I do. So I have a 400 ATOMA here, but look at how skinny it is. I thought I brought a 300 grit ultra sharp diamond plate over here. I might have to just grab.
Sid said,
"Hey, do me a favor and go
What?
grab me a Veneve stone really quick.
Which one?
Just grab that box of them because I need to get
Where are they?
on the sharpening bench. You can't miss them. They're like in a box. I thought I brought a 300 grit diamond plate over here, and I don't want her to have to sift through them and find them because I have so many of these. It's easier just to have her grab the other ones. It's like a box with stones in it. Yeah, it's like on the back of the thing. This one's a 600. I hate to go. Thank you, baby.
Anyway, Sid said I prefer DFM plates over DMT.
Have you tried ultra sharp?
He said I only used a few ultra sharp and they seem super great for the price.
Yeah, they're amazing for the price. Okay, it seems like I raised my angle a little bit right there. This stone is a little small for what I want right now. That's why I recommend the 3x8s. But obviously, if you're on a tight budget, the 2x6s work just fine. You just don't have as much stone. So you got to work in a tighter area. All right, I'm going to grab, just to make it go faster, we're going to use the Neve. I'm going to use this guy right here. So I'm using soap and water to spray on this. This is basically like a 600 grit. And then we will move to the ceramic. This will help me go faster because I have more plate. Now, one thing you're noticing is I have a lot of different stones, right? I can be very versatile to get different edge finishes and things like that. And do you need to do that? No. That's why I just recommend diamond plates for most people. Diamond plates will get you basically everything you need. Now, if you have diamond plates in a ceramic, you can get your polish. Or if you have a high grit diamond, like 1200 grit, 2000 grit, then you can just use gunny juice as long as you have a progression. The thing is buying multiple strops, multiple gunny juices, when these are like $24 a piece or something like that, you know, like it winds up getting expensive if you have, you know, a 9, a 6, a 3, a 1, a quarter, right? Like that's very expensive to get all that for stropping. We have a really low angle on this side. Feels good though. This fucker's gonna be stupid sharp. I kept working on this side, even though I'd already raised a burr on this side, because the other side's gonna go fast anyways. Can you grab me paper towels? And I already got a burr for the most part. I'm missing one little spot of a burr. So usually, you know, I'd recommend flipping to the other side and finish the other side. If you've already raised a burr on the one side, but in this case, because of the type of edge we're doing, it's not that big of a deal. I'm still going to raise a burr on the other side, which we are ready for. Feels like right here, it's very, very difficult to tell. I don't think I got one right. Just that one last little quarter inch. Do some straight back and forth motions. Do some blending. I know you guys are like, just get to the ceramic already. I should have started sharpening and just had an edge ready for the ceramic. That's the one thing with the ceramic, you know, you got to have already a fine edge before you go to the ceramic. All right, now, can you see everything?
Yeah, just scoot forward a little bit.
Let me lift this up just a little bit. Right there. Ooh. That's why, see what's happening right there when I'm going forward, how it's like my burr is stopping me right there? That's why I cut it off going backwards, because otherwise it kind of gouges into your stone. Even though these stones are super durable and hard, you know, your burr can still snag into it a little bit. Very nice. My tip needs a little work. You see, I'm pushing my tip into the stone. So I'm going like this. lifting my elbow, and then right here, I'm pushing the tip into the stone. Pushing into the stone. And I'm kind of lifting at the same time. You don't want to go too high because then you can round it. And pretty much bang. So right now I can tell what I need to do is to get
Did you say pretty much bang?
I don't know what I said. I gotta do a with my wrist right now. I gotta drop my wrist back like that when I hit the tip. So I'm gonna go across, hit the tip, and now I'm just gonna give it a little flex of the wrist backwards without doing that. To make it all blend, I'm going to do some back and forth motions while doing that. Damn. We're hitting it though. Almost done. Do 3 or 4 more passes just to ensure we don't leave any other marks from if I barely changed angle. I want to make sure I have my grip pattern very consistent. So I want to continue with the passes. And this looks beautiful. Looks great. We'll do a close-up of it. I don't know how good you guys will be able to see this bevel since it is nice and high. Can they see it good?
I can barely see it coming through.
Okay.
I can, like, that shit sticking off.
What's sticking off?
Well, the bevel. You can see it.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking. And then the other side is a lot bigger, and the burrs on there might be reflecting. Let's knock this burr off really quick. There we go. All right. Now, let's go to the ceramic. So, we're going to go to the medium first. So, the medium is the blue box. And it's a brown stone. Now, another problem with these, they're kind of expensive, but they're fragile. Okay, so there's great things about them. One, it'll last forever. You can literally pass this down to your grandchildren. You can pass it down to your son, and then your son will use it for his whole life, and then these last forever. But if you drop them, it will be like dropping a glass plate. It will shatter. So as long as you keep it stored good, don't drop it, throw it around, it has the potential to last you forever, similar to like an Arkansas stone, a hard Arkansas, not a soft Arkansas, but like a hard Arkansas. Those can last a very long time. Not quite as long as one of these, but a very long time. We have some soap and water we're going to put on here. You technically can use them dry, but you know, to stop the the steel from bonding into the stone as fast, I'm going to do it like that with the soap and water. Yes.
Polo asked Jared, how do you sharpen your knives when you're outdoors when hiking?
The the Worksharp field sharpener. So you want to link that for them in the description?
What's it called?
The Worksharp Field Sharpener. It has the angle preset for you. And let me tell you, if you have, like, say, a 15-degree edge bevel, and you're not good at holding it because you did it on a fixed angled system or something like that, you can use the Worksharp Field Sharpener and just do a micro-bevel on it, which will get you by until you get home and do a full-blown sharpening if you want to just use it really quick. Or you can use the ceramic rod on there. Or, you know, like there's so many different ways to use that Worksharp. It is so versatile. It's crazy.
Okay, it's in the comments and the description.
Nice. All right. So I can see the medium trying to break through the scratch pattern of the 600.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
We just need to hold the
Or you
angle
know what? I'll save it for the
consistently.
end of the stream. We're gonna save a couple minutes at the end today,
Yes.
guys, just to kind of shoot the shit with you guys for a little bit before we leave. And I have a question.
Also, we might change the time because Cole is doing lives for like 10 hours every Sunday. So we might switch the time to 1 o'clock instead of 12 o'clock, just to not interrupt too much. I hit my microphone.
1 o'clock Central.
Yes, Central Time. Damn it.
Hello Will, says, I keep a guided field sharpener in my bag that I always have when I leave the house. Very smart.
Yeah, because then you can also help other people tune up their edges if you need to.
Because if we're being real,
You can strop, hone, and sharpen. Yes.
If we're being real, Jared doesn't leave the house without a super sharp knife to begin with, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that you wouldn't need one sometimes out in the field, especially for somebody else.
I don't bring it every time I leave, but like when I was working at the distillery, I always had it with me. So it just depends on what you're doing. A lot of times when I go to families' houses, I bring it. Now you can see how slow this is cutting, coming from a 600. So like I said, that's why a lot of times I like to go straight from an 800, because this is cutting a lot slower than I would like right now. If I go from like a 1200 or 800, 1200 grit, it would work twice as fast. Now the burrs can be smaller the finer the grit you go up. So being able to identify a burr is very important. So if you do not know how to identify a burr, learn by getting burrs and checking them. Like right now, I have a burr all the way up and down, but my finish is not done. So right now, that's my problem, is the finish just isn't quite as polished as I want. So I'm going to go a little bit longer in order to try to... Ooh, something on the stone. In order to even out the fineness of the edge or of the grit. I love how low this angle is. This bevel's nice and big. This is going to be super duper sharp. Now, if I lowered back the angle on the other side to the same size, it might be a little too fragile, especially for M390. Now, like I said, I don't think this is a super hard M390, but all right, let's go to this side really quick. Oh wait, no, we were gonna do. Think we should still do a dual grit, or just keep it? Because as of right now, I only did a couple passes.
How would you be able to tell what your dual grit
I would
does?
just stop. I just wouldn't.
No, I'm saying, like, if you do the dual grit, how are you going to tell, like...
Well, you can do a controlled test, or you can just, test it on through EDC and see if your edge starts micro-chipping, if it goes dull fast, if you have to constantly strop, or if it just holds a really good edge. I got a really good idea of how long one of these edges lasts, but we're just going to do the same grit on both sides.
Okay.
One thing that's kind of tough with a dual grit edge, not a dual angle edge, a dual grit edge, is burr removal, because you have a really fine and a toothy burr. Like it can be a struggle on some steels to deburr, especially if you're trying to keep it extra coarse on one side. A little bit more. But ceramics are great stones. I remember when I first started using them, I did not like them. I mean, they were okay, but I just had an issue with the response from them. I didn't get a lot of feedback, and it made it more difficult for me to hold my angle as easily. All right, since this is basically the mirror side, I can tell if I deburr right now, it's sucker's going to be super, super sharp. We're going to go over to the ultra fine. Now the ultra fine, I think these are about 2,000 grit. Some people say they're even higher than that, like 2,500 grit. Some people say they're even higher than that. You know, it's very difficult to give an exact grit. I don't know what SPYDERCO says it is. They might say, I think the fine is 2,000 and then these are 3,500 or something like that. I can't remember. Hopefully, this gives us the polish we're looking for, and we don't have to go and take all the grit out of the 600 with a higher stone and then come back. That medium is a lot finer than a medium stone. Do not consider the medium ceramic like a medium grit stone. It's a medium ceramic. Medium grit would be like 400 to 600. Which it is way higher than that. I'm not using hardly any pressure. Sometimes you want to use a little pressure on a ceramic, and sometimes, you know, it just kind of depends. But right now I'm not using any pressure at all. Yeah, the mirror's coming out, but I can see a lot of cloudiness in areas. I am feeling a little bit of the suction cupping, a little bit. I'm trying to catch it. I'm trying to basically use that as my feedback.
So it says only use a few ceramic stones at the moment. I do love the Suhiro LD-21 number 180. Suhiro. I think it outperforms the Sharpening Pro 120. The Suhiro is also much thicker.
Do you have a ceramic rod?
I think he already answered that earlier.
Who doesn't have a ceramic rod?
Are you saying that rhetorically, or you're literally asking?
I'm literally asking who doesn't. Who doesn't have one?
I guess everyone has one.
Good for you guys.
Oh wait, just kidding. Zeroster, me don't have only KME.
You have a KME. Okay. So he's the only one that doesn't have a ceramic rod.
Yep.
Tell him to send us his address.
Send us your address, Zeroster, on email neevesknives@gmail.com.
Or got you a brand if you want it. If you don't want it, then just let me know. I'll give it to somebody else. But if you do want it, got a brand new one in the pack for you. Now everybody's like, damn it, I wish I would have said I didn't have one.
Okay, but neevesknives@gmail.com, or you can use our Instagram, which is also neevesknives. Honestly, Instagram's really crowded. I would just use the email if you can, but either way.
It doesn't matter.
We used to always say Instagram, which
I've been
is
checking
still
them
fine.
every day. I haven't gotten to the requests in 24 hours, but I'll get to them tonight.
He said, hell yeah, I want it. I'm half Jewish. Anything free is much appreciated.
Oh
my gosh.
I mean, yeah, and if you don't like it, you can give it to your, you're
going to send an email now. Perfect.
Got to take care of the Bang Gang members.
Bang Gang. Wait, you know what? I'm getting a little annoyed with you, baby.
What?
You know why?
Why?
Because I'm trying to order something that costs about $17 off Amazon right now. Okay. And I can't tell you how many times I've almost accidentally spent hundreds of dollars because you leave expensive things in the cart. There was just a $171 watch in there.
Yeah, I didn't want to lose it. I wanted to make sure I found it.
Now it's gone.
Damn it!
Well, screenshot stuff then. Like a normal person. Don't put it in the cart so that I accidentally buy it.
Well, don't accidentally buy stuff in the cart. Always check your cart. Always check your cart.
I did.
Well, I'm keeping you on your toes.
I don't like to be kept on my toes in a fashion that could lose tons of money.
I wish you would have bought it. You could have bought me.
I bet you do.
You could have bought me my watch.
You would have bought you your watch.
Well, no, technically, you would have bought it for me. I'm like, look at the watch my baby got for me.
Oh my gosh. Rip to the item in the cart. Well, you know what's funny? Is I was buying him a different gift.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that exciting, but still, I'm thinking of you. That's what's important.
Awesome. Thank you, Evan. Well, I'm excited.
It's not that exciting, but it's still, I know you'll appreciate it.
Well, there you go.
And it's not more turtle food.
Since this is such a more higher angle and I'm using my thumb, I can...
Higher.
Since it's a higher angle... What?
SD420. Welcome to the Kershaw.
Hey!
Woo! Can I get a woo?
Woo.
Baby.
Woo!
There we go.
Since this is a high...
I love when Jared does woos because his voice doesn't go high, so it's like, woo! It's like straining.
Thank you, bud, for signing up. Welcome. Since this angle's higher and I'm using my thumb to hold the angle, it is much easier to hold this angle. And it looks really good. It goes faster. It's easier to hold. I'm using my thumb. So I'm letting my thumb barely go over the stone, but it's working as an angle guide. So it looks really, really good. The other side has a bit of, you can see some of the grit from the other stone because it takes so much longer to do a low angle. Yes, baby, go.
Thought of a fantastic idea. I'm going to start putting gaming laptops in the cart because you don't really read things. You just
do. I always check the cart. Check the cart.
So I'm going to just,
but don't test the theory.
I'm going to put it in there every time until you just eventually mess up.
Eventually buy it for you?
Yeah. And it'll be a gift. Oh, I'm going to do it.
You found a loophole?
I'm going to do it. There has been a couple of times where like little random knives have shown up that I know I didn't order because they were sitting in the cart.
And then I think I bought them. Like, oh, I must
Yeah.
order. I must order.
There's been a few times where
I
you've
buy
said that.
so many knives that it's like sometimes it's like I remember looking at them. I don't remember pulling the trigger,
Yeah,
but
but you
hey,
did.
I'm glad I did. All right, so I'll be honest, it did make the plunge look ugly, lowering back this angle so far because it totally took it out. But I can cut it out. I can literally just bzz with a Dremel and cut it right back. So I might do that. I'm gonna work on this side a little bit more. I can see I do not have that tip hit as good as I want. But it is very, very sharp. By the time it's done, it's going to be holy crap sharp when I deburr it. There it goes. Come on, find that angle. So you got to kind of like work your angle and find it again on these ceramics because, you know, especially when you use water. Baby, don't hit my arm right there.
I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
When I'm trying to, you know, it's slippery. My fingers are wet because of the, you know, using the soap and water. And you don't get feedback. So you have to listen for it and feel like extra, extra hard for the feedback, which is kind of like suction to the stone. Like I said, when it's really, really, really flat, it'll basically suction cup to the plate. Yes.
Our new member said, SD4 said, thank you guys. One of the reasons I got back into knives.
Awesome, man. That's amazing.
That's really cool.
That is really cool.
I've known some people before that have gotten into knives and then kind of like fell out of it and then come back and being all very happy that they came back. Because a big part of it's the knives, but the other part of it is the brotherhood plus me. So, you know, it's like, you know, I say brotherhood. There is 6,400 women that watch our channel. So, you know, but either way, the community.
People.
The community. But I know that a lot of men get to meet other men here, which is a good thing. You have to have that in your life. So
can you grab the other strop that's on my bench out there? I got the one, and grab the other gunny juices. They're they look like this. They're in the tray on the back of the bench. Just grab them both and bring 2 strops. They're not empty. It's just they don't fill the whole bottle. So 2 strops. So I have some cloudiness right here at the tip because the grit pattern from the 600 is difficult to get out. It's a cloudy finish, but it's almost mirror. It's very close. It's all the way at the top.
It pushes up or something?
Yeah, see it? No. That's what I said. They don't use the whole bottle. So with the gunny juices, they don't use the whole bottle. They only use the top portion right here.
Why?
So because it's diamond. It's diamond emulsion. Why not just
have a smaller bottle? I don't get it.
I don't know. Maybe to make it look bigger. I don't know.
Antimatter.
It's a trick.
Hello, antimatter.
It's a trick.
Every time I see antimatter's name, I always think about the day that I learned about dark matter, which still isn't a proven theory yet, but it's pretty on point, which is where there's all the matter in the solar system, but they found that the space in between the matter, dark matter, is still a thing. So the lack of matter, it's like antimatter. It's like the opposite, and they've shown pretty good theories that dark matter has gravity and could be the reason for pulling on certain stuff or like the way that things form. And I'm explaining it like very, very like in a very small way, but it's interesting.
Okay, so I'm going to do a burr removal.
You don't care?
Well, I have to do a burr removal.
Yeah, but
sharpening.
There's dark matter flowing through you right now, and you don't seem to be concerned.
I'm not.
Okay.
You can't even prove it.
I can't, but there's good evidence for it.
Okay, so I'm doing a burr removal. So I'm going back to this side doing some very light passes
through dark matter.
And now the burr is back on this side. So now I want to go over to this side and get it to either snap off or fold back over.
It's not even a troll. I really like that stuff. Jared will tell you. I'm not even trolling. This is me. Isn't that right?
That's right.
I love that stuff.
Yeah,
I find it
she
so
does.
interesting. And I like turtles.
You wanted to tell them about all the animals, didn't you?
Yeah, I'll tell them later.
Okay.
Unless you're just doing something where I can say
No, because I'm going to end up talking ahead of you.
I know.
So let me... Ooh, shit, that's sharp. Holy cow, that's sharp. I gotta be careful with this edge. Oh, yeah, it's...
Does it need a woo?
It doesn't need a woo yet. I need a strop first. I got a strop first.
Okay, well, you better tell me what.
We are going to load up some strops, and while it's drying, Kara can... You don't want to just wait till the end?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I got 3 strops here. We were going to talk about diamond rods, but I didn't do anything that needed it. But you know what? Before we end this, we're going to talk about doing micro-bevels, because that's another way to use a ceramic stone. So like I said, these things are very multi-purpose, and that's kind of the beauty of them. So I'm going to do 1/4 micron on this one. This stuff dries pretty quickly. Then where's the other door here? Then we're gonna do 6 and 1 on this one. We got them numbered. So 1 on this one. And then 6 on the other side. All right. So, with ceramic, so like say if you got some somewhat damage on your edge, so I'm going to do a quick tiny drawing, and you're going to picture the very apex of your edge. Like say if this line is the very apex of your edge. If you have a spot that goes like that, so it's like a dent in your edge, but it's not chipped, it's just dented, a ceramic plate or rod, you just set the edge on there, and you can hold your angle a little higher in this case, because you're not going to use any pressure. All you're doing is straightening your edge. So you're going to hold it a little bit high, and then just do some very gentle passes. What that's going to do is it will straighten out that part of the edge. Now, if you can hold the angle really good, great, do that. But if you have trouble holding angles, it's okay if you're holding it a little bit high in this case, because you're not changing the grit or anything like that. You are just straightening your edge. Now, same concept with a rod. But with the rod, you can and you can do a micro bevel with those too, but with a rod you can use these by just holding it straight up and down like I am right here. I know the camera's not showing it very well. Then try to set your angle as good as possible. Sometimes I like to use the edges of this so like it'll be the exact same angle. So I go like this, I use this to hold the spine, and I do that same angle just like that on both sides. So right there. Then when I go to the other side, same thing. I just use this for the spine, and then I can make sure it's the same angle, and I can go back and forth. Now I'll hold it straight up and down when I do it. I'm trying to make sure you guys see it. So I'll use this to be the angle. And this is just for people that aren't as experienced with holding angles. It's a way you can kind of fake the angle. or, you know, get the exact same angle. And you can use this on kitchen knives, on your pocket knives. Now, if you have a knife that is starting to get dull, you can do a quick micro bevel and it'll get you by for a week. Or if you're in the field, or if you're in the kitchen, you can use your chef knife, right? And you just kind of go like this. But, you know, holding that angle perfectly is going to be the problem. That's why you don't take a lot of passes. Only do like a couple passes per side. You should be able to get it in literally 2 to 3 passes per side. And that's why I'm using this thing, the guard, as my angle. I can't see, baby.
You have this right here.
I know that's late though. It's okay. It's okay. Screw it. Okay. Now let's strop this really quick. Oh no, this is the 6-in-1.
It's back if you need it.
Can you guys see what I'm doing? You guys can see that pretty good. Now this is 2 different angles now, so I have to make sure I raise my angle on the other side. You know, you want to try to learn how to identify. Yeah, that's sharp. Identify the angles. A couple more passes. With feel. You know, you can kind of feel the bevel, because if you raise it, it won't slide across the strop as easily. Now, if you lower your angle too much, the worst thing that's going to happen.
Sorry. The
worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to polish the back of your bevel. So it's not that big of a deal. It's better to lower your angle when stropping than to raise your angle too high. Now, if you notice you're not getting anywhere, then maybe you need to raise it a little bit. You might be a little too low. I'm going a little bit extra here just because of the I'm doing the stropping progression. Damn it, this thing is so sharp. All right, last one. This is the 1/4. When you get a chance, can you grab me that knife magazine?
Yeah.
Now I do have one spot on this edge that I have some facets, and that is down here in that one spot. But it's a very, man, this thing is so damn sharp, man. Oh my goodness, this is beyond hair whittling. This is what those people on the YouTube shorts would call melting. Let me just see if I.
Do you think that Smoky Mountain Knife Works knows that when they send us their magazines,
yeah, we're just cutting them up.
Supplies for just
yeah,
cutting?
It's just for cutting.
I wonder how many.
I'm gonna, you know what? If they don't send it one month, I'm gonna call them like, hey, what's going on with my edge testers? They're gonna be like, what are you talking about? Your magazine. I need you to send your magazine. I use that thing for checking my edges. Okay. So, this is definitely beyond a high level of sharpness because of that low angle. You guys see that shit? Wow. I could almost draw my name. Straight push cuts. Yeah, that's sharp. All right, let's wipe this off and take a quick look at it. So as you can see, focus. Is it focusing or I can't tell?
No,
There
it
it
is.
goes. Okay, so you can see where the heel is, where I have that little bit of shadowing. Um, I needed to hit it a little bit more on a lower grit and get the scratches out. I didn't want to waste, otherwise, if I was alone, I would sit there and work on it and just spend more time on the stone. But I don't want to spend entirely too much time on the stone and waste your guys' time. So it's something I can always go back to on my free time. And so the entire edge is polished from here to tip. It's just right there in that heel where I have that little bit of shadowing.
He matters as he cuts his up too.
I think everybody does. And then the other side looks beautiful. Come on.
New sharpness test, the foot test. Will it go through?
Yeah.
You guys should see the way the scar is healed. It's crazy. It's so deep.
I showed them actually in one of the lives. I put my foot up in the air. They wanted to see it.
What? You're giving away free.
I know. Somebody said that too.
pictures.
Somebody said that too. They're like, damn it, Jared. Oh, no. Somebody paid me for it, though. So
They better.
They did. Damn it. This thing is sharp. Like, just touching it, it splits my skin. Like, this thing would whittle hair like crazy. Anyways. But the ceramic rods, in my opinion, the best way to use them is for honing your edge back to straight, or creating a micro-bevel. It's not going to be something, or like for kitchen knives, that's a really good way, because a kitchen knife, you're not really worried about getting the high-level performance edges on there. Now, I'm not saying don't get one on there. Obviously, sharpen it to a high-level performance edge. But then, let's raise you guys up. But then, after it's already that sharp, between times of you using it in the kitchen, you don't have to go and just resharpen every time. It's dull. You take your rod, hit it up a few times, and it brings back the sharpness. Now, like I said, same thing with your folding knives. If you want to get a little bit more life out of your edge, and stropping, it won't bring it back. You can do a micro-bevel. Then after the micro-bevel goes away, you can put another one on there and then another one. You get the most out of your edge. Then finally, when honing's not working anymore, micro-bevels aren't working, stropping's not working, then you can resharpen. Now, if you want crazy sharp edges always, then yeah, you're probably just going to want to strop. And then when stropping doesn't work, resharpen.
Zach stuff is a member?
No way! Zach Stuff's part of the Bang Gang squad.
Bang gang. Wow.
Shout out to Zach Stuff. Go and follow his channel. Awesome content. And I can't get over how sharp this thing is. But like I said before, guys, that doing the dual angle edge, it makes your knife so sharp. Now, if I did the same, like a 10-degree angle on both sides, of course it's going to be probably even sharper than, well, for sure, even sharper than this, probably. But it'll be fragile. It will. Like just bumping something hard would probably chip it. This makes it to where it's not.
Do you have your bell over here?
Zach, thank you, brother.
The 5 bones.
Man, shout out to Zach, man. He's so awesome. Do something kind for somebody.
Oh, that's right.
Do something kind for somebody. Yeah.
I knew that. Yes, I agree.
But it would be fragile to the point where if you hit something with the edge, it's going to microchip or chip, roll, whatever. So this makes it to where it gets to be tough still, but stupid sharp. Yeah, I'm happy with it for sure. Like I said, it did make the plunge grind on the one side look ugly. Like, notice this side looks beautiful. But then this side, you can see I hit it. So
you couldn't see the first side.
I can just file it out. You couldn't?
No, it's super blurry.
That's all right. Fuck it.
It's my face, probably. Yep, it's always my face.
But I would not. I mean, if I would have did it this size on both sides, obviously I wouldn't have the high level of sharpness I have right now. It would still be sharp, but it wouldn't last as long. It would definitely go duller a lot quicker. It wouldn't have the high level of sharpness, but yes, it'd be very tough. Right now, I got a lot of cutting performance, good edge retention, great edge retention out of the steel, and high level of sharpness.
Yay.
What's that?
Dennis is here.
What's up, Denny's? All right.
Okay, I have a
She
few
wants
things
to talk.
say. So much to say. Can you zoom into that for them?
It's for axes.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that what it's for?
Yeah. It's for
Just
axes
show
and
them
hatchets.
so they know what we're talking about. That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, why?
So
Could you do a regular knife on it?
you can, but
do you sharpen on that angled part on the edge?
No, the point of it is you hold it in your palm and you go in circles on an axe.
Oh.
Yep.
Does that going in circles thing work?
Yeah. I mean, you're just scratching the edge. Same thing. You're scratching. You're basically removing steel and creating a bevel.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But you could do a knife on one of those. If you were out in the field and that's all you had, I would.
Now show them this image really close. I'm gonna explain what that is. Don't look at it. You don't get to look. Okay, so see this thing, guys?
You know, you can just pop this stuff up and show them. So I gotta do this.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So it's a screenshot. I didn't want to have to find it all again. Okay, so anyway, this dude took a standard cookie sheet and then put mesh liner under the stones and a second sheet of liner under the tray and made it sharpening stone storage in his garage. I thought that was so smart. So a literal cookie sheet like that you put in the oven.
Yeah.
And he lined it
Mm-hmm.
and then like slid it into a shelf.
And what's he doing with? Oh, just to hold it?
Sharpening stones.
I know. For what though?
Storage.
Just for storage. Okay.
Storage.
Nice.
Because you store yours in a cardboard box.
No, I don't. I store mine in a drawer.
Well,
I have multiple drawers. I have like 10 drawers.
I know.
That hold sharpening stuff.
I know.
I have a lot of sharpening
You
supplies.
do, but I'm just saying that's like what he did.
I have a cart full. I have a
drawers.
cart full of sharpening supplies, sharpening devices, supplies. I have a big drawer with probably 60 stones in it. Then I have another drawer full of my small stones, all my 1x6s, 1x4s, maybe a couple plates. Then I have a complete stropping drawer full of stropping shit. And then I have little cardboard boxes that hold stones like just on the desk. I have so much sharpening supplies, it's ridiculous.
Okay, so the other thing I wanted to tell you guys was I had my nephew over this weekend, which is why, I like wasn't in the live and stuff, but we took him on a walk to look for frogs at night, and we ran into a fox, and Jared walked right up to the damn thing, and it just like peed. It didn't even care.
I got a video of it.
Do you? I still haven't even seen the video.
I'll show them the video.
It was so weird. It was like a little baby fox. And
you guys want to see the video of the fox?
I want to see the video of the fox.
Well, Kara's going to watch it on the screen.
And then there's a question for you. I'll get you, Zachariah.
Where the hell is it? I got it.
Oh, you better not have, because I still haven't even
it's tall, though, so hang on. Hold on. Let me rewind it. Okay, you're going to hear me talking and stuff. So, or you know what? Here, I'll just turn the sound off. You guys can just watch it.
Wow, look at the little guy. Jared was like, I know he looks scared there, but I swear to you, he
was not scared at all.
He was not scared.
He's eating. He's eating.
Yeah, he's literally eating stuff out of the grass.
Hold on, here, I'll just turn it.
And then
You can hear the volume if I turn it up.
I don't think it really matters, but yeah. He's so cute. And it was just crazy. You could tell it's definitely new. A newer.
Right here he gets scared because.
Yeah. Well, Jared squatted down. So the squat, I think, scared him.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But yeah, I thought it was a cat at first. And it was not a cat. It was a fox. And it's cool because for where we live, we don't see that stuff often. It exists, but they're pretty stealthy. And so when we see stuff like that, it's pretty cool because it's not like we live in Colorado where it's more common and stuff like that.
I would have killed him and ate him for dinner, but I chose not to because Kara was there.
Don't.
Just saying, it was that close.
No.
It was that close.
Oh, it hit you.
Fox sandwiches?
No, I won't hit
Fox
you.
Sammys? Fox Sammys?
Stop. Anyway. And I also found a frog that was in its tadpole face still. It had a tail.
Yeah, it did. Then we saw some giants. Like some big
giant
ass
frogs.
Ones. Yeah.
Yep. There was something else I was going to say.
Some rose cranes.
They're not rose cranes.
Sandhill cranes.
Sandhill cranes. Yeah, they're tall.
So
those are another thing that didn't care.
We have a lot of little lakes here, like a lot of there's ponds, lakes everywhere. So there's cranes that like travel here. They travel and land here. There's a bunch of different birds that do that. So
don't touch the screen. It'll get messy. Yeah, those guys migrate here. They come from the south and they migrate all the way up to Siberia. But their biggest gathering spot is in
this is like an oasis for them.
In the North Platte River in Nebraska. 500,000 of those things. And keep in mind, they're about 4 feet tall. They're huge. About 500,000 of those things meet at the North Platte River every year in Nebraska as a halfway point to their trip to Siberia. But of course, you get runoffs. There's other places where they stop, and one of the other places is Lake Michigan, which is what we're close to. So I found these two guys that live in this field. But yeah, it's crazy, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. We have the great blue heron, which is the biggest bird.
We had one year this hawk. I wasn't off probation yet. I had to do community service, and while I was doing community service, this fucking giant hawk. I mean, this thing was so big. That. I had no choice but to stop what I was doing and start recording it. This thing was massive, on another level of massive. It looked like it would take children. Like, it was so big, and it was just standing there, like it was. I mean, just big as all hell. And so I stopped and started recording him. His wingspan had to have been 6 foot. I wound up figuring out that those things, you can look at our whole country, and right here is the only place that you can find them. And the reason why is because when they're traveling, they stop here like an oasis to eat, drink. For migration.
We get a lot of interesting
things all white
in
with like
the
a
summer
tan head.
Because of us being a halfway point or a point of stop for travel. I was at Lake Michigan yesterday, in fact, and there was a sign there that said that there's actually a lot of birds from Central and South America that come all the way up here. Do you know that?
Well, I would imagine because of all
not like parrots, but like
right. That like one year we saw those tropical birds. That one year,
that's what they are. Those blue and orange ones.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was like green and orange or two. They were like together, and they were bright ass colors. And I had never seen those before in my life.
Yeah, no, it was weird for us.
Like, you don't see them, like, okay, so like when you go to like say Lake Michigan, right? You have Lake Michigan. You'll get some things that stop there because they have the nature preserves that go all along Lake Michigan. Mm-hmm. But there's usually like a high level of like deer population, foxes and things like that, right? In between cities and stuff. And you'll have random things stop there because of it's a preserve. So they can see that it's all, there's nobody there, no humans, right? They don't have no traffic. They don't have anything in between big gaps of areas. So like the sand dunes and things, you'll see things land and stop there.
Okay.
And they're also like flying over Lake Michigan and stuff sometimes.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, when I was at Lake Michigan yesterday,
there was
a congregation of like thousands of those giant dragonflies, those big old meaty ones up in the air. It was insane. Anyway, really quick. There's a question for you.
Yep.
Can you answer it?
Yep.
Zachariah says, Jared, I'm looking for a new double-sided stone. So many options. Which do you recommend?
What? Say that again.
I knew you weren't listening. I knew it.
I was listening.
If you're reading, you're not listening.
I'm listening.
Okay. I'm looking for Zachariah says, what is my foot inside of right now? What is that?
No, it was a kind of hawk. I looked it up. I found it.
Jarrett, I'm looking for new. That's not me yelling. It's Zachariah because you won't listen.
I'm listening.
It's him yelling. Okay. Jared.
Yes.
I'm looking for a new double-sided stone.
Yep.
So many options nowadays. Which do you recommend?
Only Venives. Usually I don't recommend.
Because your name's in it.
And usually I don't recommend
why.
double-sided because they the reason why is because when you set them down, you wind up contaminating one side. Like they just contaminate each other sometimes, and then you mess them up because you have to lay them down on the actual abrasive. So I recommend getting single-sided stones unless if they are Venives. Venives are double-sided. They work really well. The diamonds don't fall off or anything like that. So if you're talking about a diamond plate, I always recommend single-sided. And I recommend the Ultra Sharps.
Oh, that's cool.
They're linked in the description. They're the most affordable. You can get 3 2x6 plates like this for only $51. Just like this. 2x6 stones, the 300, the 600, and the 1200 for $51. If you get the big ones that are this size, these are the big dogs. These are Venives, but the same size as this, they are $138. So this is the difference in the size. So the size that are this size, $138. That is very affordable for diamond plates, especially with the quality they are. A 300, a 600, 1200. Now you don't have to get the set. You can get them singly. Click on the link. When you click on the link, just scroll to the top and search Ultra Sharp diamond plates, the same name as the one that's on there, and you'll get singles that pop up, doubles, triples, all different kinds of sets. They're very affordable. Okay. Those are the ones I recommend.
Okay, quickly. Zeroster said, so much to relate to. I live close to the Everglades, and I got giant mamie tree in my backyard. I see red-tailed hawks all the time, and owls. They love curly-tailed lizards. That's really cool. I like curly-tailed lizards. Poor things. Now, listen to this. Ed Durbin said, that wasn't a hawk. It was either...
That's what I already answered that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I said it was. It was because we looked it up.
I thought we identified it with the bird book.
We identified it with the Illinois Hawks.
Bird.
Illinois Hawks. We identified the size, everything. Like I could look at it because I had a picture of it, like close up. I was right next to it. It literally was within like 5 feet of me. So I had the clearest picture you could imagine, video of it, not even a picture. And I'm gonna find it right now and tell you exactly what it was.
I remember we looked it up and found that like it probably was a really rare thing to see because they migrate to this one little blip, like this little tiny circle on the map. So it's not native to Illinois. It literally was mating or passing through or something like that, whatever it is that they do. Because I do remember at the time. I know what turkey vultures look like.
I know what a lot of I'm an animal person.
We were able to go over the footage over and over again because he had it on there, so it's pretty easy to identify once we got the. But if you look up Illinois hawks, you're not gonna find it because it's not native to Illinois.
But they stop here though, and that's I remember that's how I found it the last time was something like that. Yeah.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'm gonna read other stuff. Blah, 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 blah.
It was a weird name, though. I remember that.
Zachariah said, I'm an hour north of Jared, and I know what hawks he's talking about. Forget the name. I think it starts with a G. Kara's so sassy. I love it. I am a little sassy. I'm a little sassy-frassy sometimes, you know. You're sure you're not half Latina? No. I'm not. They've been going up on Gritomatic. What, the price for the Venives? Is that what you got? Oh, Pharyngeus hawk. Wait, that might
that's it. That's it. Yes, that's it.
And that's probably why he thought it started with a G, because it has a G sound.
That is it. That is it.
Whatever it's called. I almost am positive that was the name.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
It was whatever it was. I remember that after we looked up what it was, it was a very
Pharyngeus hawk.
Yeah,
here it is, right here.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one. So it was very red looking.
Yeah, it was like white and.
He's a pretty.
So here is
He was a pretty.
Let's get a bigger picture of it. So here's one in the sky.
Is it pretty?
Let me find a landed picture. So this is exactly what the one looked like standing next to me, except for he was standing on the ground. And he was like a really big one. So like I'm guessing he was even big for his size.
Maybe.
Which, you know, obviously happens.
Did he do that?
No, he didn't make any sound. He was just like looking all evil as all hell. Like I'm about to take something out.
That's funny. That is what it was, though. I totally
You
remember
could
that.
like
now.
I could totally like I said, I was sitting there staring at him like this, like he looked clear as day. Just
unlike your picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. They have such a fierce look about them.
That's what I mean. He was giant too. Like, man, he was so damn big standing there.
Man, there was something else.
I wonder what their wingspan is. I guarantee it's got to be at least like 4 to 5 foot.
Oh, you know what I saw that was a really rare see for up here too was a spiny, or was it the
53 to 56 inches is the wingspan. Go ahead.
I don't know if it was the spiny or the smooth soft-shell turtle, but I was able to see a female soft-shell turtle in a park that used to be a glacier. So the park, because obviously Illinois is very flat, but we had glaciers that reached far down enough in Illinois to where we do have some. Geez, what are you doing to me?
Showing the wingspan of it.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Fuck my story.
I can't even get it in camera. Right there.
That's a big wingspan.
That's
not as big as the great blue heron, which
Look
was
at
in
that
video.
Holy shit!
Not as big.
It's
as the
so
great
big.
Not as big as the great blue heron.
Not as big as the great blue heron.
Yeah.
Damn it!
Yeah,
you got me. You got me there. But guess what? My hawk would kick a blue heron's ass.
I don't know. I might be able to poke it in the eye.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Anyway, so I was trying to tell a story before the measuring tape blocked my face, and
What's wrong?
I saw a soft-shell turtle around here, and it was a female. And if you know anything about turtles, the female soft-shell turtles get way bigger than the males. So the males might be, this big, whereas the females get the size of a freaking pizza. And I saw a female one. They barely ever come up because their heads are so long and they have those little pig noses that they can use them like a snorkel and just get a little air, go back down. You barely even see their shell reflect out of the water. And she was up on a log trying to get that UV radiation. And what you guys have to understand is how rare of a site this is in this area. If you're down in Florida, you've got the Florida soft shells and you're going to maybe see them here and there. But this is not common at all. And it was so cool. And they're so skittish normally. Yeah. Owls do have a giant wingspan. I think it's the second biggest owl is the Eurasian eagle owl. Those things are absolutely insane. Yes, no, Ed, that was for sure the name of it. Once you said that, you were right on the money. That's what it was. Jared, look up a harpy eagle. They are giant birds, monkey killers.
Really?
Yeah.
Harpy eagle? Is that what he said?
Yeah, harpy. HARPY.
I got it.
Oh, you're getting a storm cue ball? We had a massive storm here with a hail. It hailed here all night.
Look at that.
What? Look how it's lifting up its feathers. What?
I know.
I love it. I want one. You know how long it takes to become a master falconer? It's a very big process. You have to apprentice for a long time. And, okay, they said look up a falcon. GYR falcon.
Let me just show one more picture of this guy because this guy's nuts.
Yeah, that is nuts.
Look at what you're going to be looking at. In the dark, when he finds you and sees you.
Oh! I love how they pick up those feathers on their head.
His head can flip you off with his feathers. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Flip you off.
That is the cutest thing, though.
All right. What was it?
GYR falcon.
GYR falcon. Motherfucker. A falcon?
Yeah.
These are pretty. They almost look like a pigeon.
His peregrine falcon. Is that what that knife is? Isn't there a knife named after the paragon? Isn't that what that knife is named after? The paragon?
What?
Isn't there a knife called the paragon?
Yeah, Paragon Warlock.
I wonder if that's named after the peregrine falcon.
Maybe.
Or that's Paragon.
Yeah, Paragon.
Show him my soft-shell turtle. Please. This thing is about the size of a large pizza, just so you understand. I'm not kidding you. Literally the size of an actual pizza. It was so big, and you can see its head sticking out in the front. That head can reach almost to the back of the shell. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're crazy. Like,
They're aggressive as hell, too.
they're super aggressive. Their heads are so crazy, and their noses look like a little pig nose.
Yeah.
They're actually kind
They
of
use that
adorable.
because when they're under the water, they just poke that up, take the breath, and go back down.
Yeah.
Because they don't move as well out of
Show
water.
them that little face. Show them that little face. Yeah. Look at that little face. Not my face. It's your little face. Look at that little nose. I remember the first time I saw one of these. I was like, what is that? Anyway. One of my favorite books is about a falconer and his peregrine falcon. It's a kid's book, but it's great. I was watching a documentary the other day about this guy that was like a felon. He had done prison time, and when he got out, he had to get a job. So he got a job at the local like wildlife, like fish and wildlife people. Mm-hmm. And he worked there, and eventually, like, I guess like somehow he was working with birds a little bit, and he got into it, and he became an apprentice and eventually a master falconer, which again, you have to be very disciplined and take a long time to become an actual certified master falconer.
Yeah.
And so now he like lives on a farm. He has all these owls and these birds, and it's a really good story. It's really, really good story. The whole thing. So.
A lot of those guys that a lot of those guys that are felons that get out and they're trying to find jobs. A lot of them do find jobs working with animals. Because
it's soothing.
Well, they usually, one of the hardest problems with getting out of prison and finding a job is that they don't trust you around money. They don't trust you around objects. They don't trust you at all. Animals, they don't really have to worry about you taking. You know what I mean? And it actually is a great way to rehabilitate yourself because you have to take care of something. It makes you care about something. It makes you, it kind of gives you
some self-accountability because
and a reason to live.
You want to, that's why I want
a reason to do well, right? And they've used that practice in prisons too, where they've allowed them to have dogs and stuff. And supposedly, like,
there was one where they literally had like a zoo. It wasn't in this country, I don't think, though. It was in a different country, but they had birds and all types of stuff.
I didn't see that, but I seen one where, and it was in the United States, where they were allowing them to have pet dogs. Mm-hmm. Now, if they did very well, they were able to get a dog
in their cell.
Yeah, no, they got to take care of it, and it was like say if they had like 2 years left or something like that. Right, when they're doing really good, like they would allow them to have that, and then it gave them the ability to take care of something, to strive to get it. Like it gives you like a reason to want to get out.
So much life in jail. Yeah. Could you imagine having a dog? That would be absolutely the best thing ever.
I can't imagine like that. That would change everything about it.
Yeah, 100%. Also, wasn't there with that whole program, were they training dogs to get adopted?
Yes.
They were, so what they did is they taught the prisoners to train the animals, and then they worked on being dog trainers.
They had a real trainer with them.
Yeah, teaching them to be trainers, and it also helped because some of them, it is funny because you hear like all of them saying, I'm going to be a dog trainer when I get out of here. But only probably like one of them actually does it. Yeah. That's a sad thing.
Well, that's with anything.
It gave at least some of them like a thing. You know what I mean? Even if it was all there in there. But yeah, like the one guy, though, he had the golden retriever in his cell with him. He was like one of the few where they gave him a dog. Right. So it was like, I wonder if he got to keep the dog on his way out.
I don't know.
Because normally the dogs were for adoption. Yeah. But maybe if they really, 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 really trusted the person and thought they had a chance on the outside, maybe they give him a dog. I don't know. Or maybe they can apply to keep it outside. I don't know. Something.
I don't know. It's tough. I think that
they're trying to give the dogs a home.
Yeah, that's the point. The point is that when you have a trainer that professionally helps train you to show you what to do and how to do, right? So now you already know the steps. You can see that the dog is capable of doing it. The easiest part is teaching a dog to do anything. That's so easy. It's so easy. Like if you guys seen how fast I can teach a dog to do something, it's incredibly fast. Now, the problem is when I leave, the person that I'm showing this to and teaching how to, that's why the biggest part of dog training isn't training the dog. It's training the person, because now you have to keep up with the same behaviors that I'm showing.
And that's the biggest problem. I've seen Jared train people, and the people straight up don't do it. And then you come back,
do it for
and
5
it's
minutes. They do it for 5 minutes.
Right.
But and the reason why is because they go back to their habits. Those habits are the exact reason why your dog was bad in the first place. And that's what I have to tell them. I have to show them this behavior you're doing is teaching your dog to eat your garbage. This behavior you're doing is teaching your dog to run out of the door.
But they're lazy in the moment. So like if you have a dog that barks every time you eat, instead of never feeding that dog till the end so it understands there's no point to bark while you eat, a lot of people just won't get on board. And so it's like, if you don't get on board and you just you keep feeding the dog so it stops barking, because they're looking for an instant fix, instead of doing, like, it might be a rough 2 weeks while you're breaking in a new rule, but then it's done forever.
Yep.
And they say that's one of the biggest problems with human beings is we tend to not be able to handle a short period of something tough to get to the ultimate greater good. Even if we know life is better on the other end, we don't suffer through the short pain.
A lot of things are super easy to teach the dog to do, because as long as he understands what you're saying, the problem is the people, when you leave, are not giving off that body language that's telling the dog the same thing you were. So what they're doing is they're doing their whatever they have programmed in their head to do, which tells the dog to do the opposite. It tells the dog to do the bad behavior, and they can't break that themselves. And if they did the same body language you did, and the same responses, the same timing that you execute things, then the dog would listen appropriately every time and would follow suit. But as soon as you leave, the people tend to fall back because they don't have you sitting there correcting their behaviors. Stop walking like that. Walk with your shoulders back. Walk firm. Stop saying the same word over and over and over. Be more firm with your words. Just the way you look, the way you sound, the way you walk, the way you everything. The way you catch them, in the behavior that you don't like, or the way you reward the behavior you do want. You have to do it. It's a timing thing. You have to time it perfectly so that your dog knows that, oh, I'm getting this for this, right? Go ahead.
SD42. Okay, I'm just going to call you SD. Jared, do I need the 1200 grit Veneve? I got the 100/240 and the 400/800. Is that good enough? I would have to buy the 800/1200.
No, you don't need it. You don't need it. It does give you a little bit more of a polish, but the 800 does give you a polish. So if you're just looking for a polish, you got it. If you get stropping compounds, so like the polish difference between the 800 and the 1200 isn't that much. Once you get over 2000 grit, but after 2000 grit, that's when polish begins. So the 800 is like a 3000 grit, maybe 3500 or something like that. The 1200 is like 5,000 grit. So the difference between that and that polishing wise is not that much. Yes, it's a little bit more, obviously, but it's not that much. Now, if you want, what you could do is get the 800 and then get yourself some 1 micron gunny juice. And you will basically get the exact same finish, because the one is 3/2 micron and the gunny juice is 1 micron. So you can do that.
Polo was like, I'm a master of guinea pigs, because we were talking about master falconry. Being a guinea pig master, that'd be hilarious if that was a thing.
A guinea pig whisperer?
Yeah, the piggy whisperer. Actual pigs are super smart.
Yeah, for sure. They're very smart.
I saw a
documentary
like where a girl that had seizures had one as a service animal, and because pigs have like a thing kind of like dogs where it's almost like they can smell it coming.
Kara's got a service grasshopper. Cricket.
You won't let me have anything.
You did have it. You didn't like it.
It jumped in my face.
It never jumped in your face.
Yeah, the one I stepped over.
You
it did. It went boing, boing, boing.
No, it never did.
Anyway. I have to go to the pond to feed the wild turtles. That's all I have. Okay.
She'll get another pet one of these days.
Okay, anyway,
Look at
It's
that
almost
angle.
2
Woo!
o'clock right now.
Yep, we're about to get out of here. I gotta
So-
eat. I gotta eat something. Plus,
Yeah.
I still gotta upload. All right, guys. Thank you guys
That was
for
abrupt. Okay.
being Banging members. We do appreciate the donations. We appreciate you guys being Banging members. I love doing this, and I know you guys get a lot out of it. Now, if there's ever topics you guys directly want in a Banging, in one of these live sharpenings, just let me know ahead of time so I can have it pre-planned for when we show up. I'll have all this stuff ready. But you got to let me know exactly what you're wanting to work on, and I can make that a topic. And yeah, so I do have a couple videos going to be going up here pretty soon. So watch out for those. One of them is a knife you guys might not have known was coming. It is a knife that's already been out, but now there's a budget version. So you guys can check that out. That will be coming soon. And then I also have a video of a Quichetti that's coming up. I just got to finish cutting the watermelons in the video. So that's going to be a fun video. I already got the watermelons ready.
When's the
I think
TS Profit?
Okay, so we didn't do the TS Prof because I got backed up, so I didn't get to do that one yet. So as soon as I post the actual video, which will be it'll be within the next week. I was supposed to have it done last week, so I am backed up massively. So it'll be this week. But
They have medicine for that.
the patron members, you guys have another giveaway. The people that did win the last one, I'm mailing out tomorrow or Tuesday, because I'd like to group the shit together. But thank you guys for being here. Love you guys.
And I got the emails,
Peace.
a roaster. Peace.